so I saw this thing somewhere about Switch 2.
Show me your thing, Dustin.
Well, I can't find it again now. I think that
Is it the Switch 2
people
thing?
got early access of the Switch 2.
Oh, yeah.
They can't play it because there's like a big patch today.
Yeah, so I guess
I
the
guess
pre-orders are coming in.
Switch 2 owners are upset. I heard that somewhere. But
I read it. I know what he's talking about.
Oh man!
But also, that's all about Switch 2.
Good morning and welcome to the Season 3 premiere of the latest and greatest show for your eardrums. Wait, giving you the latest and greatest news. Man, this is
the latest and greatest show.
This is the latest and greatest show also, but also giving you the latest and greatest news. I'm one of your hosts, Vince Vibes, giving you Football Focus.
You're back once again with Dustin, formerly of Drama Digest. I'm changing the formula up a little bit now. I'm going with unemployment update, and it's not going to be about the economy. It's going to be about news that our largely unemployed male fans are going to be interested in.
Whoa.
Cater for the unemployed. We made the joke all last season, and now it's real.
I'm Anthony with the latest and greatest news for your eardrums.
There you go. And
Showbiz Spotlight. Hello.
There you go.
And Steven?
Is Steven?
Steven, wake up.
You love to hear it.
Steven is not here today in the studio. Steven seems to be having some mishaps with the family again. He also got his wisdom teeth pulled, so he said his whole face is bloated like a puffer fish.
Yeah,
so
I've never seen somebody take more personal days.
He's going through it.
He's going through it right now. This shout out to the game guru. We'll be doing this segment for him today. And it wouldn't be a weekly roundup episode if there wasn't some technical difficulties. Starting out the show, the whole radio station was off again, so sorry for the 2-minute late start time, but we're here now for your listening pleasure. We have a great show today. Today, for Football Focus, I'm focusing in on two main stories. One, obviously, you're probably going to guess, during this little off break that we had, teams voted on the banning of the Tush Push. And if Steven was here, he'd be defending my back, but but now I just have Anthony today.
Hello.
And Anthony respects the Eagles too. You know, what are we, Anthony?
Eagles.
But what are we?
Oh, football fans.
We're Super Bowl champions. Golly, Anthony. Out. Anyways. And then we're also focusing in on a certain quarterback drama in Chicago. So we'll talk more about that on Football Focus. What are you talking about, Dustin?
All right. Well, I never give away, what I'm going to talk about. But a pretty popular streamer is trying to change his image up, which I think is maybe not the best move for him. And we'll get into some other stuff too. We might even talk about a friend of the show if we have time.
We have so many friends of the show.
We have so many friends of the show. The ghost of Kevin Spacey. That's who turned off our radio station this morning. I knew it was him.
I'm sitting in for the game guru today. Introduce yourself, Kevin.
Who's got their best Kevin Spacey?
Oh my goodness. I was thinking about bringing in Macho Man and placing him right there where Steven was, but I didn't decide to bring him in, but he's here in spirit. Isn't that right, Macho Man? Oh yeah! I can't wait for the game guru. It's gonna be a good time. Oh yeah! I know that's right, Macho Man.
I'm just afraid that if you would have brought in the figure, it might have burst into flames. It couldn't handle the guru's aura.
It couldn't handle the guru's aura. And the talent it takes to be the game guru.
It does, Guru got a guru.
Guru got a guru. It's Anthony, what are you talking about on Showbiz Spotlight?
I immediately rescind my statement for the latest and greatest news. I'm going to talk about some stuff that happened in the last 2 or 3 weeks that I thought was really cool and interesting. We're going to talk about because the show wasn't happening.
Well, yeah, there you go. It's a nice little recap episode. You got to have a nice little recap episode, don't you? I mean, Steven, what are you talking about? Oh.
Talking about Switch 2 today.
Hey, there you go, Switch 2 news.
It's like he never left the guy.
It's like he never lived.
If I can find the time to Google it in between breaks, I might talk about Monster Hunter too.
There you
Oh,
go.
boy.
Well,
He had any of those additional features yet?
I think it might be dropping some additional features, and we're gonna dive into that because I love an additional feature.
There you go. You know, that's for Steven in honor of Steven. But how was y'all's little break? We didn't really talk about ourselves. We kind of just got right into the content. How have y'all been?
Been good. Been pretty busy. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get a date to the cherry blossom event. So I was a little bit disappointed in that. But otherwise, I think went pretty good. We can talk about it a little bit later, I guess. But we all went out and did another video project. So.
I was
gonna say that's like the highlight.
I was gonna say I think that's a good part to do it at the beginning of the show. I mean, that was a big part of our highlight. Is a step up for the weekly roundup. We got hired to videography.
One of those words.
Videograph.
Videograph. There you go.
Content
Made
creator.
it up.
Oh,
was that?
he
You gonna take flight?
he legit just T-posed on us and said, "I made it up." We are grown men here.
Trust me, bro.
It was revealed to me in a dream.
It was revealed to me in a dream by Mr. Miyamoto himself.
He T-posed right over me.
And said, "You will do cars and cigars, and you will videograph it." Anyways, so we did this awesome event out at Paddock 1 on 34th Street. Like you said, there was a lot of nice cars, a lot of nice cigars, a lot of nice whiskey out there, a nice food buffet, and we got to shoot all of it. A nice silent auction with a lot of great items. Jack Nicholson signed item, Randall Cunningham signed item, so there was a lot of very cool items there. Some Super Bowl rings too. We got all good footage of that, and we've been putting together a nice promo reel. We're doing an interview too later today with Harry, who ran the event from Sterling Cigar Lounge. Shout out Harry.
You might remember him from our interview from the first season.
Okay, episode 7. Look it up. Watch the amazing interview that we had with Harry, and watch the amazing interview we will have with him again. That will be posted on our YouTube in like a week or two.
How do you find that YouTube again, Anthony?
I just run it. I don't know.
I think it's at the Weekly Roundup _1.
It is.
If I'm not mistaken.
It is at the Weekly Roundup _1, and 2 full seasons and a movie.
2 seasons and a movie.
Ooh, we're like Community here.
We are a lot like Community.
Except
we're in a community college.
Except they don't have.
Oh my God, we
don't
are
have a
Community.
movie yet.
They don't have a movie. We don't have an Annie. This is nothing like Community.
Yeah.
We have a Steven.
We need 4
We
more
have a Steven.
seasons.
But we don't have a Sideburns.
Do we have a Donald Glover? Am I?
I think you went for Donald Glover. But I know what you're going to say. I'm the Chevy Chase. That's fine. You can say it.
Well, you got to cater to the unemployed, and Chevy Chase is unemployed everywhere he goes. He can't seem to get a job.
That's true. Not least of all because of his conduct on the set of Community.
And those are substantiated rumors, but
Yeah, well, I mean, you said it happened, Donald.
I'll
take your word.
whoa. Anyways, when we come back, it'll be football
3
focused.
seasons
Yeah.
This is the content that our fans have come to expect.
I know you're not tired of it. I know you want more of us when we come back, football focused. But first, we gotta crank that Soldier Boy. And we're back with a little bit of football focus. Now, we've had a little bit of interesting news. Wait, what?
Let me stop you right there.
Stop me right there.
I think there's something that we need to get out in the open.
What do
You're
you mean?
listening to us on Hawk Radio at Primo Stream.
Yes, you are.
No.com though, but I feel like I need to disclose that and kind of get the elephant out of the room.
I mean, if you're 3 seasons in, you know not to use the .com.
But if you do happen to use the .com, you will be slapped by a random fish. You won't know when it's coming, but it will happen.
Tell us which
comment which fish you got slapped with.
It might just be a guy in a fish mask.
Hey, it counts.
I think it does count.
That is the Game Guru special. Anyways, now we're going to be talking about two main stories. First story here, we're actually going to be talking about the Chicago story. Now, I don't know if we have a lot of Bears fans listening, but Bears fans have been excited about their guy. You know, they just drafted Caleb Williams 2 seasons ago, and he didn't win Rookie of the Year. Jaden Daniels won Rookie of the Year.
You hate to see it.
He started to play well at the beginning of the season, but Chicago and that entire team kind of exploded. Eberflus got fired halfway through, but now they have a new era. They've hired Ben Johnson from Detroit Lions fame, and but now there's some kind of drama stirring up in Chicago. There's this book that got released called American Kings, a biography of the quarterback. And there were some thoughts and ideas from the Williams camp that got shared from that. So let me read you some of the stuff that got announced. Caleb Williams and his father, Carl Williams, explored various options to avoid Caleb to being drafted by the Bears. Even sitting out of the draft, waiting till next season to become an unrestricted free agent. Carl Williams, Caleb Williams' dad, reportedly quoted saying, "Chicago is the place quarterbacks go to die.
Oof.
I don't want my son there." Ouch. Yeah, that's a strong statement, especially from the dad of the guy that's supposed to be leading the entire team to victories.
Oof, that's embarrassing.
And it speaks to the long-standing struggle that the Bears organization has always seemed to have with their quarterbacks. Never have had a quarterback over 4,000 passing yards. Insane. You know, this is a passing league nowadays. Their best quarterback is Jay Cutler. History-wise,
really?
Yeah.
Oh. That's not good. I feel like, didn't they used to be good, though, back in the old days?
Yeah, the defense. You remember the Bears shuffle? That was all the defense.
Yeah, tell me all about the Bears shuffle.
I was just watching highlights of it last night.
Oh, my goodness. So the book even detailed discussions with lawyers about possibly circumventing the NFL's collective bargaining agreement to gain more control over Caleb's landing spot. There was a genuine desire to look at all the possibilities. And he even wanted to go, it was even rumored that he wanted to go to the rival instead, Minnesota Vikings, with Kevin O'Connell. So Caleb Williams just spoke about this a couple days ago in a press conference, and he said that Williams emphasized that when he took a visit to Chicago, his perspective shifted. He stated, "After I came on my visit here, it was deliberate and a determined answer that I had that I wanted to be the guy. I wanted to come here and turn the Bears franchise around." He also reportedly asked his father to tone down public comments in the future. So, obviously, this did spark up some drama between Caleb and the Bears. And how would y'all feel if you just had this book release saying, if you're the head coach of the Chicago Bears and your quarterback and his dad just got outed in a book saying that a year ago they didn't even want to come to Chicago, they didn't even want to be there? How do you react? How do you respond?
If I'm the head coach or anybody in the organization, I'd be so mad.
Did you say who wrote the book?
ESPN. Let me look it up. ESPN Seth Wickersham.
Oh.
So ESPN journalist wrote the book talking about the Caleb Williams drama and other dramas about quarterbacks. So I hope that Caleb maybe finds success with, this is a new head coach from last year, so maybe there's some different...
They're in the upswing now.
The upswing, maybe it's the fact that, there's it's like a whole new team behind him, a whole new coaching team behind him. Maybe it's a more positive outlook and outset. Ben Johnson is a very great offensive mind in the league. He was the reason why the Lions were so good on offense for the past 2 seasons, and we'll have to see how the Lions respond to losing both their coordinators this season. But both of them Ben Johnson left an impact on that team. He almost took them to the Super Bowl 2 seasons ago, and then last season they lost to Washington in the divisional. So his offense works, and it shows that it works. They have a lot of playmakers over there, a lot of good offensive talent. DJ Moore and Roma Dunze. They still have DeAndre Swift at running back. So I like the outlook of the offense for Chicago. That defense, we'll have to see for Chicago, but
You should watch highlights of the shuffle.
Yeah, oh yeah, well, exactly.
I'll forward them. We'll put them in the group chat. I have like a 7-hour playlist or something. I just put them on to sleep.
Oh yeah, right. 7 hours of the Bear Shuffle.
Yeah, I'm just doing it in my sleep now.
Esteemed Buccaneers fan doing the Bear Shuffle in his sleep.
I
Anyways,
just count bear shuffles, instead of sleep, like or sheep. I mean.
I hope that obviously I don't hope too well. They're in the NFC. I hope they meet us in the NFC Championship and lose. But I wish them success and everything, and I hope that drama is set aside for Caleb and the Bears, because that's not a good look.
No, it's terrible.
It's a terrible look. If I was a head coach and I saw that, or like a general manager and saw that, my guy's dad was trying to find active ways to make sure he didn't come to my place, And
I mean, it really shows like a lack of judgment too, giving those interviews.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean, either you were so sure you weren't going to the Bears, or you just didn't care. And if you were so sure, you shouldn't have done it. But you should have never given that interview. If there was like even a chance you were going to go over there, you're stupid. You're stupid.
It's stupid. I mean, and it was almost guaranteed as the first overall pick. I mean, so. Anyways, going into another story, if you've been watching the Philadelphia Eagles over the last couple of seasons, there's been one play in specific that when the Eagles line up, there's a good chance they're going to score on that 1 yard line or on a 3rd down and 1.
Even I know what this is going to be, and I don't really follow the Eagles at all.
Oh my goodness.
Jalen takes the snap, and boom, a bunch of guys push him into the end zone. Touchdown.
Eagle shuffle.
It's our Eagle shuffle. It's the Tush Push. It's brutal. It's brutal, but it is beautiful and beautiful. Beatable. My bad, guys.
You'll get there.
Oh my goodness. Steven is channeling through me. Oh my goodness.
The alliteration is going too far.
The alliteration is going too
It's just
far.
for the segments.
Oh my goodness. Anyways, it's almost unstoppable, but it's not unstoppable. Multiple teams have stopped it. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have been a team that has stopped it before in the past.
Steven told me that.
Steven did tell you that. This one's for you, Steven. But a team that even tried to run it proposed the ban against us, the Green Bay Packers.
Oh.
What was their argument against the Tush Push? They concerns over player safety, and even said that there's an unfair advantage by pushing your offensive carrier into more guys, pretty much. But
It's the same number of guys on the field.
Yeah, right?
No, that's not that way. But
No.
when they switch sides. I call myself, don't worry.
Right, come on now.
Fake football fan.
They're saying it's more like a rugby scrum. It's not a football play, and it's not what the NFL is supposed to be about. But
It's supposed to be about.
Right,
What does that mean?
Exactly. Ben Johnson, we just talked about him, Chicago fame. He was asked about the Tush Push. He said, I like big plays. I don't like the Tush Push. I like big plays. That's not a football play. What? What? I'm sorry.
Maybe the NFL is just supposed to be about like big plays that get the fans at home excited.
I hear he's a fan of big plays.
Is a touchdown not a big play? I'm sorry. If Jalen Hurts scores a touchdown, if you score a touchdown off of a Tush Push, that's a big play.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
So,
Same amount of points.
the ban, of course, failed to pass. It needed 24 votes and only received 22.
That's a lot. Don't say only. That's a lot. That's the majority.
Yeah, well, 10 teams saved the Tush Push in favor of banning it. All the teams that we play against this season, the Philadelphia Eagles, all voted to ban the Tush Push except for one. the Detroit Lions. So give it up to Detroit. That's a real one right there. So the Eagles fought hard to keep the play. Jeffrey Lurie, the Eagles owner, called out Roger Goodell and Troy Vincent in the owners' meeting and was constantly trying to be cut off. You could tell he was very angry about the fact that this is even a possibility that the play can be banned just because we run it better than any other team. And we even had Jason Kelsey make a presentation about why the Tush Push deserves to be in the league and deserves to stay.
Did he do a PowerPoint?
Right.
He said on his podcast, New Heights, that if the Eagles called him back and said, hey, we're only going to run you in Tush Push situations, he would take the job instantly because it's such a...
It's a pretty easy job.
It's a good play, exactly.
you only use that one. You only go out for that one play. I take that job.
But for now, the Tush Push is here to stay.
Eagles can do the funniest thing game one when they receive the kickoff or whatever. It's like 1 in 10 on the 30, and they just tush push.
The New York Giants did that on like a 3rd and 10 or 3rd and 20 when like they knew they were just gonna punt the ball away. So they had Daniel Jones go out there and like try to like sneak it, and then they just punted it away. But that's the only way I could see that happening. Can you imagine if they're 1st and 10, they got Saquon Barkley at quarterback, and he's just all pushing Saquon behind them. Go.
3P. Take the other team unaware. It might work.
It might work. You know,
this is what you tried to ban.
Yeah, sometimes the Chiefs do that thing where they all spin at the same time and then like do a short run or something. We'll do the bear shuffle.
Dude, the huddle is just the tush push, and then they come out of it.
It's like, oh, they're about to run the tush push, and then it's like, oh, 4 wide, they all run out. It's like the fullbacks at wide receiver now checking in, like.
Which one's gonna push?
Anyways, so like I said, the Tush Push is here to stay. Jalen Hurts and the Eagles didn't lose anybody on offense. They're going to be as dominant as they were last season. We're in a good spot to make it back to the Super Bowl next season, but I guess there's only one way to find out. And that's to watch this next season coming up, which I'm excited about. I will keep you updated on off-season news as it happens. And that's basically going to be all the summer because the next season starts when we're in our fall semester of season 4 of the Weekly Roundup. So,
big seasons all around.
Big seasons all around.
We're already getting the 4 Ps.
We just started the 3 Ps.
Exactly. When we come back, it'll be the game Temple because the game guru is not in the building, but we are his game disciples.
Who knows where he is?
I don't think even he knows.
And we'll follow the game guru anywhere. Anyways, talking about the Philadelphia Eagles, here's My Love by Justin Timberlake featuring T.I.
This is for you.
And we're back with the game Temple. Steven, take it away.
Can you smell what gaming is cooking?
We are sorry for your eardrums. Thank you, Dustin.
It's funny how much effort you needed to do what he does so effortlessly.
I know. I can't match his aura. He's like the Rizzler.
You have to like channel it inside you. It's already he's already the beast within. Steven already had the animal instinct within. And
true.
we're talking about Monster Hunter, right?
We are talking about Monster Hunter. It dropped some new additional features, but first we got
Just for you,
Switch 2 news.
Steven. Just for you, Steven. We're also going to be talking about EA continues their layoffs, but go on with Switch 2.
All right, so I saw this thing somewhere about Switch 2.
Show me your thing, Dustin.
Well, I can't find it again now. I think that
Is it the Switch 2
people
thing?
got early access of the Switch 2.
Oh, yeah.
They can't play it because there's like a big patch
Oh.
today.
Yeah, so I
right.
guess the pre-orders are coming in.
Switch 2 owners are upset.
Uh,
I heard that somewhere. But also,
I read it. I know what he's talking about.
Oh man.
But also, that's all about Switch 2. Also, good
oh
news.
man, what a throwback.
It was kind of a throwback, wasn't it? But Monster Hunter has dropped a bunch of additional features. There's
Sorry all about those
There's a
features.
grand hub, arena quests, customization, weapon swapping,
You got that?
pop-up camps,
Okay.
wound system,
Oh
Okay.
man.
new monsters,
Nice. Let's see
new
it.
weapons, armor, and styles,
Okay.
enhanced qual features,
Okay.
collab themed content, trial quests, expanded multiplayer,
Okay.
challenges,
It's just,
character customization.
it just sounds like
new status
things that should be in the
alignments.
game already.
So,
Give
But
it a,
they're better than ever now.
so
give
get
it a.
on Monster Hunter Wild if you haven't already,
Oh.
and check out those new additional features.
This
Anyway,
is,
that was all for the gaming news.
That was,
when we come back.
So that was for you, Steven. We covered Switch 2 and Monster Hunter. We do want to actually focus on a real story here.
Oh, I got you. I got one. Elden Ring Nightreign comes out tomorrow.
Yeah, it does come out tomorrow, I think. I was never a big Elden Ring guy.
Oh.
I never got into the Dark Souls like games.
That was the only Dark Souls game I got into.
I kind of like that one, but I never really know what am I doing? You know what I mean? Like,
I feel like
there's
that would.
no
I feel like that would all the other ones.
stuff to buy.
Mm.
I played a little bit of Bloodborne too. That one's a nightmare to try and play. There's no map. There's no map. So I don't know what I'm doing. So the issues you're having with Elden Ring, I'm having with Bloodborne.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing in that game.
Yeah.
Right. So, because you're just kind of just walking around.
Yeah, so Elden Ring, from what I've heard, is definitely the easiest of the Souls games. That one, I mean, I guess you kind of struggled with it, but that one holds your hand a lot. It kind of tells you, like you know what you have to do, but you don't have to do it.
Yeah.
Like, there's a clear path of, like, from the first NPC you talk to, they tell you, like, all right, you got to get there.
Right.
Like, you got to go that way, and this is how you do it. But it's such an open world game that there's like the main story is like 10-20% of the game, and the rest of it is just a bunch of side stuff.
You know, that might have been the problem, because I think I killed the first NPC I
A
saw.
lot of people kill the first NPC. If it's the one I'm thinking about, a lot of people kill the first
Yeah,
NPC.
he called me like maidenless
Yeah,
or something.
yeah,
and
yeah,
I was
a lot
like,
of people
"You're
kill
done.
him."
You're done.
But he's the one who kind of explains like what's going on.
That sucks.
No, you gotta restart the game. Look at that whole fresh perspective. All you needed was Anthony to tell you. You messed it all up for you.
Yeah, a little bit, but you know it's okay. I had to you know, go in there kind of blind, you know.
Still never played it. I don't think it'll ever be on Game Pass, but I just don't think it'd be a game that I'd purchase and actually sit down and play enough. I've lately been still stuck in Oblivion and Marvel Rivals, so those two are still in my time. But I've heard a lot of great things about Elden Ring as a whole, and hopefully this new DLC is going well. It's averaging a 7 right now from what I've looked up. So
That's only slightly above average.
yeah, there's 8 character classes and features a surprising amount of depth despite the limited movesets.
Yeah, so it's kind of weird because some people say it's a DLC. A lot of people say it's just like a mini game in between whatever the next release is. It's really more of a multiplayer. Like you group up with other people and then do like some of the quests, fight the bosses. That's kind of what it is.
It seems almost like a different game, kind of.
Yeah, but it's not like you said. It's not the most expansive thing, right? It's just kind of like it could have been DLC, but it's marketed kind of like its own game.
I feel like they do that a lot, honestly. Like, going back, I think we talked about Assassin's Creed a while ago, but they made the pirate one, right?
Yeah.
And then there's the other one that's basically like the pirate one, Rogue. Nobody really played it because they dropped it at the wrong time. But it could have just been a DLC, because I'm pretty sure it's the same map. They just like changed some of the features and put like snow on it.
Yeah. Well, with Rogue, I feel like was its own game. I feel like I remember having Rogue on the PlayStation 3 disc.
So yeah, it is its own game, but it could have been a DLC. For sure,
yeah.
Just a reskin of the map of the same gameplay.
Okay, I get what you're saying now. Yeah, I definitely do feel that it was, but I feel like Rogue was so much fun. Like
it was a good game.
It was a good
I liked
game. And I feel like it had a full story to it, so I could see why they decided to make their own release of it, but I understand completely what you're saying. Like, it should have just been like a super expansive DLC, but I think in that
This was during that era, right, where you were getting a new Assassin's Creed like every year.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's what happened, because they dropped Rogue on Xbox 360, but then the Xbox One came out like that year, so they dropped like
Unity, right?
I think so. I think there was like the England one or something.
That was
No, that's
Syndicate.
Syndicate.
Yeah, so I think it was Unity.
Unity is the French Revolution one. But that was such an old one. That one came.
No,
I think was that
was
before,
the first Xbox One.
Was that was after Black Flag?
Yes.
Yeah.
Black Flag was 4.
Okay, I played them out of order. I think I played Unity. I think Unity was my first Assassin's Creed game.
So for Anthony's order, it's actually the first game in the franchise.
I just
but
feel like I remember that one looking so much older than
Yeah.
Black Flag.
yeah, maybe did you play the remastered version of Black Flag or like the enhanced or
I
whatever?
couldn't tell you. I played them back to back, so this back then I don't know if it was remastered.
I mean, I don't know. I know
Oh,
they
no,
just
I-
remastered Assassin's Creed 3 a couple years ago. That's the American Revolution one.
Yeah. I can never get into that one.
I actually really like that one. Once you get past the first part where you're just the guy in the Revolution suit, once you become him, I forget his name, but the assassin, it's a fun game. It's worth playing.
Don't you like? I feel like don't you assassinate like George Washington or something at the beginning?
No. There's a DLC mission where it's like the tyrant of George Washington, where it's like George Washington's like evil.
I wonder if that's where that picture came from that you see online sometime of like George Washington as a king.
I think so. I think that would make sense,
That
but
makes sense.
I can't say for sure. One more story that we want to highlight. We were talking about how EA tells Titanfall 3 to go across the river, and
Hate to see it.
it's also telling Black Panther to go across the river now too, as EA cancels the Black Panther game and closes Cliffhanger Studios, the studio making the game. The game was originally announced to be in 2023, and leaks said there was going to be multiple Black Panthers, a full open world, a huge game, and all of that is just gone now. So what is it with EA continuing these layoffs and canceling more games and developers? I mean, do you think it's them losing so much money, or is it them just focusing more on just EA Sports and just giving up to the gods that are the football?
I think it's probably a little bit of both, because everybody hates EA basically, right? But people keep buying their games. Like, everybody buys the new Madden, and the reviews are overwhelmingly negative on Madden because it's the same as last year. But people still buy those. But I feel like people will buy the Black Panther game, I guess, probably, but who else besides like a big Marvel fan is going to want another open world EA game?
That is true. I guess maybe that's where they saw the direction of it heading. A lot of these big open world tie-in games haven't really worked out for these developers.
Movie games, they're terrible.
Yeah,
they're always terrible.
Ubisoft just dropped Star Wars Rogue last year. That failed.
Yeah, I don't think that was supposed to be very good.
I'm trying to think of other big tie-ins. The Avengers game that happened a few years ago by Bandai Namco, that was a total disaster. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League made by Rocksteady, that was a disaster. So I could definitely see EA maybe looking back and saying, hey, this is not good. We need to maybe come back to the drawing board and find games that people want to play, because maybe the open world method is getting a little pulled out and drawn out.
Yeah, you get like fatigued with it for sure.
Right, because I mean, it's kind of like the Far Cry virus, right? That's what I like to call it, where it's like the main game is locked behind like doing a bunch of stuff that doesn't matter. Like, why do I have to climb towers to get this area? And then it's like the same redundant couple things with a nice cool mission, and then the same things with a nice cool mission. It's like people want to escape the world, not be in the same cycle of redundancy.
Oh yeah, I was just playing Far Cry Primal a couple of weeks ago, and yeah, I always wanted to be a caveman, so that would be pretty cool. You're just walking, like 90% of the time you're just walking, and then I started riding like a big cat or something, but it still wasn't that fast. Like, you just spend the whole time walking. You get to a mission, it takes you less time to do the mission than it took you to walk there.
Exactly. And so we're definitely seeing that. We were making a joke about the commune in GTA, how it's a disaster.
Dude, traffic in GTA Online is just getting crazy. I mean, I don't know about you guys. I can't afford to buy property in the city. I mean,
it's rush hour every hour in that game.
There's always rush hour. You know, just real estate prices in the city are way too high.
Every other player has an oppressor.
I don't know where they're getting them. They're like $8 million.
From
like
mommy's
$80.
credit card.
That's like $80. I did the math.
Mommy's credit card.
Dude, touch grass.
I know.
You don't have to touch grass if I'm flying.
And shooting people's cars with missiles, I guess.
And then as soon as I finally stole one from somebody, I just griefed every player car and left.
Oh my goodness. So, well, I went to GTA to say it's ridiculous. We're driving to each mission 6 miles, 4 miles,
Yes.
3 miles, and that's 5-7 minutes of your life just gone. Just holding down a button, driving around the city.
Yeah, getting cut off by terrible drivers.
So I think we need to go back to a world of more escapism in video games.
Yeah.
Just the flying motorcycle with missiles at escape.
No, bring back island level, bring back snow level,
Right.
desert level. Come on, this is what the gamers want.
We were also talking about that, like the glory days of like games having levels and progressing. It wasn't just like a big open world where you could just do the same 3 things. Each level had a specific world, a specific function. Like the classic Mario games are a good example of that. Like
Let's go back to 2D platformers.
I think Ghost Recon is a good example of that.
Yeah.
You know, you think about the old ones, you're in South America, and then you're in Finland, and then you're in Iran, and then the new one is like, you're in Colombia, have fun.
Yeah.
Or you're on this island ran by tech billionaires or whatever, have fun staying here. Like,
Right.
Man, come on.
Or like I think a game that's done it decently well, yeah, I know, was the Hitman franchise with the different level-based missions.
Oh, yeah.
I can never get into Hitman.
Not me either, but I know what he's talking about, because they're these big kind of open maps, but there's different ones. For,
Yeah. They all take place in different
Yeah.
So
cities and countries.
I would like to see more games take the level approach, but that's pretty much it for the game guru. When we come back, it'll be unemployment update, but first, Bartender by T-Pain.
Hey.
And we're back with a brand new segment. Isn't that right?
Pretty exciting stuff. Unemployed people are over the moon right now because there's a segment just for them. Unemployment update, bringing you news for people with too much time on their hands.
This is for you, everyone who just graduated.
There's too many hours in the day.
There's just too many hours. Your life is too long. You gotta spend as much time on your phone and on the computer as you can, because after you die, you won't have access to it.
There you go.
And speaking of the chronically online, I got a double header.
Oh.
We got Mr. Beast and Fortnite in one story.
Ooh.
There you go. One of those 2 things we enjoy here.
Yeah, that's true. It's not Mr. Beast.
I'm a big fan of staying in the circle for as long as you can.
Counting 200,000.
Oh,
I never.
that was pre-Mr. Beast, Mr. Beast.
I never watched any of his old videos, and I just kind of started seeing like the big ones, and I gave him a chance, right? It was like a 45-minute video. It's like, we're gonna survive on an island. I was like, that's cool. They helicopter in there with like MREs and tents and stoves and satellite phones. It's like, this is stupid. You're not surviving anywhere. You're just camping with your friends. You betrayed my trust.
On a giant, expensive private island that you probably bought.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you brought your you brought your staff there because there's no schools on the island.
Oh.
That's confirmed. We can say that. That's just true.
There is some Mr. Beast people that are still in the company that should not be.
They shouldn't be, and yeah, he's picking interesting people to hang around. And now that he's kind of in hot water, with public perception, right? Maybe even, probably not legally at this point, but you never know what other crazy stories are going to come out of that
He
organization.
doesn't have to wear the mask anymore. He's fine.
Exactly, and he's not even pretending to be a dork anymore. He's coming out as his true self, a real hood guy.
He's pretending to be gangster.
Yeah, I got a picture of him here holding maybe like, I don't know, 10K maybe in cash, like holding it up like a rapper, like a little baby stack. Which he's a billionaire. I don't know why he has.
So that's like nothing for him.
Here he is with Kai Cenat, right, doing the same thing. But here he is in a bulletproof vest. He looks like 50 Cent from back in the old days. He's just got a white tank top and a bulletproof vest on. And I guess he's really committing to this, right? Because he said, yeah, you know what? Everybody loves Hood Mr. Beast.
Hearing about it for the first time.
And you're hearing about it from somebody who doesn't like it at all. And he says, yeah, you know, everybody loves it so much, I think we need to make a Hood Mr. Beast Fortnite skin.
I just think it's cultural appropriation to the highest regard.
I mean,
where is he from?
He's
from like
from
North Carolina.
Oh.
Yeah.
Look, if Drake's a culture vulture, this guy certainly is.
I would talk about culture vulture. That's the perfect name to call Mr. Beast right now, a culture vulture. But kind of what he always was. He kind of just followed the trends on YouTube to become famous. And
I was gonna say this news came out right as I was starting to kind of forget about Mr. Beast.
That's the point.
That's the point.
Right, because he did his little like Squid Game show or whatever, and that didn't do well, and that was kind of the last I heard of him. And then now,
see, I didn't even give the Squid Game thing a chance because he already let me down on the island.
I don't think most people didn't give it a chance.
Because there's no way. I mean, you're not gonna convince me any of that's real. Come on. Wasn't he getting his friends in on that too? Like, he was getting his employees' family in on there.
In on it.
And one of them won, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great content.
Great content. What? You're amazed that a reality TV show, a reality game show is scripted and fake?
You're nitpicking something that I'm sure was targeted towards a younger audience that doesn't care.
That's
who won't look that deep into it. They're just seeing the cuts and the flashes and they go, look at all that money. It could be me.
Yeah, no, I mean,
I'm going to do this with my friends.
But at the end of the day, this guy's still a billionaire. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He's still out here, just faking stuff, lying to people. So I think we can talk about it. Just because he's grifting children doesn't mean we can't make fun of him. If anything, we'd probably make fun of him a little more.
Exactly.
I wasn't about defending the guy. I was just you're really criticizing the YouTube video. It's the YouTube video.
Another thing that I hate about
YouTube videos are better.
Our YouTube videos are better. Things that I hate about these kind of YouTubers that they do is like these fake giveaways that like they entice these kids like, oh, if you subscribe and comment and buy my t-shirt, you're gonna be entered into a giveaway. Like all that stuff is not like. No.
I think I know like the exact video you're thinking of because I remember like a Mr. Beast like expose or something, and he was doing that exact thing. He was doing like a QVC thing. He's like, we're putting $100 bills in these shirts.
Yeah, right. Okay, buddy.
Yeah.
So. Total grifter.
Dude,
continuing to
Mr. Beast is always offering me V-Bucks in the comments sections. One of these days I'll get them.
Did you give him your credit card number? Because that's the only way you can get it. You have to confirm your identity.
Yeah, I give him all those funny numbers in the back.
Okay, even the wacky numbers on the back?
All the wacky ones, yeah. He's offering V-Bucks. He's got so many, I assume.
I think he asked for my social security, so...
Well, you gave it to him, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, good. He's a billionaire. He needs it.
Yeah.
He can have that information.
But, man, what an interesting turnaround for the culture vulture now.
And funny we talked a little bit about Drake, right? We said culture vulture, and speaking of that whole beef, little Kendrick news.
There you go.
Not Like Us has officially exited the Hot 100 after 53 consecutive weeks. That's almost an entire year.
That's almost a year on the Billboard charts, right?
Or how many weeks is it?
53 weeks. It's the record-breaking run, his longest charting rap song in history.
Is 53 weeks in a year?
No, there's 52 weeks in a year. It's over a year.
I was like, oh.
Well, we're smart here on the Weekly Roundup.
We're all taking math classes. We understand these things.
But our collective powers combined, we can almost figure out how many weeks are in a year.
This guy's an astronomer. We got Neil deGrasse Tyson in the house, so he knew what.
You're like a psychology major too.
Well, I'm a psychologist, but we don't need to know about months and weeks. Just about the mind, the psyche, the id, all that stuff.
He's saying a lot of words.
Everyone takes one semester of astronomy and psychology, and they think they're astronomers and psychologists.
Someone has to be.
How far is the sun away from us right now, Anthony? Look up in the sky for 6 minutes and tell me. Look directly into the sun and calculate how far it is.
He's just like
I gotta consult.
Zach Galifianakis and Hangover is doing all the calculations.
I gotta consult Terrence Howard. He might tell me.
I think he'll know, actually. He was also famously in Empire, which luckily we were able to get last night at Trivia.
At James Joyce. Shout out James Joyce.
Shout out to Trivia.
Shout out to Trivia.
Shout out Trivia, friend of the show Trivia. Now,
oh, man.
You know, speaking of friend of the show, we're not going to have time to get into all the stuff that we had, but it's all right. We're going to run a little over today because we got started a little late, and I'm going to pass it over to, you know, as kind of a filmmaker myself, one of my favorite segments, let's pass it over to Showbiz Spotlight. Definitely my top 3 favorite segments.
That's fine. I thought you were setting up. You were going to talk about the friend of the show.
I'm not setting up anything.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun.
Which one do
Showbiz
I start
Spotlight.
with? Which one do I start with? Oh, okay. I'll start with this one. Going back to talking about some of the news that came out last 2-3 weeks while the show wasn't going on.
Is it late and great?
It's definitely late. I don't know if it's great. It depends on who's asking, I guess.
All right,
Well, you tell me if this is great news. The Spider-Man Noir Amazon TV show.
That actually is great news. Surprisingly enough, I think longtime fans of the show will know I don't really care about superheroes, but I'm a big Nicolas Cage fan.
I like Nicolas Cage.
So I'm actually excited for this.
He's one of those people who I feel like he can just do anything. Like he's reached that point in his career where he can just do whatever.
Long-time viewers of the show would know that Vince Vibes does like comic book stuff quite a bit. And Spider Noir, he actually voices Spider Noir in the Spider-Verse movies.
Yeah.
So it is cool to see him reprise the role in live action, especially. And I'm very excited to see this take of a more dark, a more what's the word?
Gritty.
Yeah, grit. That's exactly gritty.
Does Spider-Man Noir have powers, or is he just a guy?
No, he's still Spider-Man.
Okay.
He's just is like in the 1920s.
Yeah, he's like an investigator. Or
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm just wondering if he was one of those cases where he doesn't have.
Not to nitpick again, but how did a guy in the 20s find what's it, like a radioactive spider? Didn't they only invent radiation in like World War II?
I've never really read any of the Spider Noir stuff, or so a lot of that is not in my.
Do they really? I don't know if they even go that deep into it, because it's part of like the multiverse thing, right? It's another universe, another dimension or whatever. And I think that entire dimension is in black and white or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it wouldn't surprise me if they just didn't dig too deep into that.
Fair.
Also, Spider-Man Noir seems kind of like an underground kind of character. I feel like a lot of people didn't know about him for a long time. And then I think you mentioned it maybe off the show, the Spider-Man game.
Yeah, the Shattered Dimensions.
And then he kind of popped up again with the
Spider-Verse movie.
And then now he's got his own show. I don't know. I mean, I'm excited to give it a try, but I don't know how well that will translate.
Well, I think this is good that we're focusing on stories that haven't been too tapped in the comics per se, or maybe don't have a true line. I can't really say for sure how many like comic books there are, or how many runs of Spider Noir there is. But But I was gonna say that with a lot of these famous storylines and a lot of famous things, these movies often deviate from the stories a lot, and it does cause a lot of divide between people. Where, like, say the name Daredevil Born Again, but it has really nothing to do with the Born Again story and more to do with the Devil's Reign story of Wilson Fisk becoming mayor. And things like that, where they take the names of these famous storylines, but they don't really stick to the comic books, and they make their own things. So it's great to see maybe them taking something more obscure like Spider Noir that doesn't have so much tied to him, like regular Spider-Man, like Batman, like Daredevil, like these characters.
It's not really telling me.
And so there you go. If it's not really telling you on the Google, that means.
I mean, Thunderbolts was kind of like that, right? A lot of people didn't know what the Thunderbolts were. Like they weren't like super well known, super popular.
Not in the main not in the main MCU fans, but comic book fans will know the Thunderbolts pretty well. There's been a variety of Thunderbolts teams throughout the years as a whole.
Oh, okay. So it's not okay.
No.
So it's a rotating cast.
Yeah, it's been a rotating cast for Thunderbolts. It's not just the people that are in the movie now.
Anyway, that series so far slated for 2026. This surprised me. It's not a Disney exclusive. It's coming out on Amazon. I thought Disney had all the rights.
No. So,
well, not Disney.
well, when Marvel, before Marvel got bought by Disney, they originally sold like their big names to companies. So Spider-Man is still technically owned by Sony to do all the movie rights. That's why whenever Marvel has to do, Disney Marvel now has to do crossovers with Spider-Man. The Spider-Man Homecoming Spider-Man Tom Holland movies are technically Sony movies. They're not Marvel. Even though they're in the MCU, they are still technically released by Sony. And so they do have a say in their stuff. And that's why Sony has used a lot of these big Spider-Man villain names, because then the MCU can't use them. So Kraven the Hunter, Rhino, Venom, these characters that they've taken and tried to make their own movies out of, Madam Web, their whole purpose of that is to kind of take as much of the Spider-Man universe from the MCU and make it their own thing, because they still believe in Spider-Man, and they don't want to let go of Spider-Man. Like Fox has let go of the X-Men and Fantastic Four because they got bought by Disney.
Fox got bought by Disney?
Well, 21st Century.
21st Century.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, so
Crazy.
that involves Fox.
Everything's on Disney now, man.
Yeah, everything is a Disney-owned.
Except Spider-Man Noir. Watch it on Amazon.
But that's the reason why it's like that. And that's the reason why a lot of these characters couldn't really match into why the X-Men were not in the MCU for so long and had their own universe, was because of Fox owned it.
Yeah, I actually did always think that was kind of confusing, because I was like, I found out they're all Marvel characters, like, why aren't these guys in Avengers? Like,
This is movie rights. So
that happened. We keep talking about Marvel. Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, right? When they premiered in the MCU, they weren't referred to as mutants. They were just like like experiments, something else. But they weren't referred to as mutants because they didn't have.
In the comic line and in like main story, that's Magneto's kids.
But like they couldn't connect it to the X-Men back then, because X-Men wasn't still
exactly.
That's crazy.
So that was a weird time where they were basically trying to steal characters from each other.
Pushing the boundary, like, hey.
we got this guy, no, but we're going to get this guy from the comics, But it's come a long way. Now Disney owns everything, so woo, I guess.
Spider-Man Noir.
Yeah, Spider-Man Noir.
Shout out Disney, buy us out, please.
Yeah, buy Weekly Roundup. We're here. We'll listen to the offer. Any other news before we get off the air?
Which one of the two? We talked about Elden Ring already. I don't know if I want to talk about the movie.
Well, we can talk about the movie. Yeah, talk about the movie.
If not, there's something else.
You got a dilemma?
Well, I don't know. Does this work with the unemployed side of things? You have the Skibidi toilet movie.
That's something that was actually talked about on Drama Digest a while ago. There was no drama involved. That was for unemployed people too. So
That's true, but a little bad news for the Skibidi toilet fans.
Oh no!
The movie's still coming. The movie is still in. They're still working on it. It's still in production. But Michael Bay has come out and said that he is not directing the movie.
He's
not directing the movie. He said
its only saving grace.
He posted an Instagram. I think Reels, whatever, an Instagram story, basically saying, "Hey, I'm working on a couple movies. Here's he shows off like 5 or 6 scripts, but none of these are named Skibidi Toilet."
Well, maybe he's kind of throwing people off. You know,
he could be, because he also dropped like teasers and stuff. So he's definitely working on the film. He might just not be the director.
So it is owned by his company. So even though like he's like the owner of the company, it could be a completely different team working on the movie, not himself, or a production working on a movie, not him himself.
Do we have any other details about the movie?
No. There was a teaser trailer.
Yeah, the teaser trailer.
But that was pretty much it.
Jack Black and have him be Skibidi?
The guy coming out the toilet. I just don't know how you can make a movie about these like giant robots taking over guys with heads coming out of their toilets.
It's just.
I mean, we were just talking about the Terminator off air. It's not if you remove the toilets, it's not that different.
I mean, I guess, but the heads coming out the toilets. There's gonna be a.
I think a toilet would have a pretty good chance to get to a robot. It's full of water, so if you just kind of go over and slosh out on them.
That movie's just gonna look
Short
like
circuit?
it's gonna look like 2 hours of AI.
Oh, for sure.
my goodness.
It's-
It will fit the theme, I feel like.
Yeah,
It's
that's
gonna be like,
Well, no, because Skibidi Toilet's Gary's mod, right? They use, like, Gary Mod
it was
assets or
Gary,
whatever.
yeah, it was Gary Mod assets.
wonder
What
how
throwback Gmod?
Yeah, Gmod. Oh, yeah, Gmod.
Oh,
Gmod,
my
Gary's Mod,
goodness.
yeah.
you used its government name.
He did use its government's name.
You guys have ever played Gmod?
I used to watch a
You
lot
guys
of.
know Gary Modular?
I used to watch a lot of Gmod YouTube as a youngin, but
Is this thing
never
coming
got
out?
to play it. It was one of those games as a kid that I always wanted to play, but I always had like consoles. I never
Is
had
that
a
John
gaming.
Goodman? I'm watching
laptop
the
or
teaser
Yeah.
trailer. Is that John Goodman?
Oh, is he the toilet?
No, he's just a guy. What is this?
No.
This doesn't look like it's real.
No, that's
this
not
does not
real.
look like it's real.
That's not real.
That's
I
not
think
real
you
at
just
all.
looked
What
up
is
an
this?
The AI trailers got
This
Anthony.
is absolute. Well, I figured it out before I got too far ahead. This does not look real.
He was about to be like, man, Homer Simpson as Adam Sandler looks, or Adam Sandler as
What
Homer
is
Simpson
this?
looks
Well, I'd
really
say
real.
What is
I
this?
found some unsubstantiated news I'd like to share with you.
Someone has to.
Some Switch 2 real, totally real news.
But anyway, keep an
Shout
eye
out
out
to
for the
my
Skibidi
favorite
Toilet.
YouTube short.
So yeah, that only has 3 views.
So I didn't see the teaser. I couldn't find it. Apparently I ran into something else here. I don't know. Is it live action? Do you think?
I don't know.
They're gonna animate it? They're gonna just do a whole Gmod movie?
What if they probably won't, but what if they did? Could you, I mean, we were talking about this off air. What
Yeah.
if you made a movie in a game engine?
Yeah, well, we were talking about how like maybe we could like make a movie in GTA. How would that work?
I mean,
How would
people
that
kind
even
of do
function?
that. I mean, people like role play.
I mean, yeah, I
Yeah,
guess
but, like,
people
you
will.
It's just
made a
it's just
movie.
longer.
Like, but I'm talking about like cinematic cuts and like it actually looks like a movie in the game.
Yeah, you might be able to do it. Like photo mode, maybe. I don't know if you
I
can
don't
like
know.
play in that though.
When GTA 6 comes out, that thing's as
Yeah.
realistic as it can look.
There you go. GTA 6 now comes out less than a year from now.
That's what they
Technically,
say.
May 25th, 2026, I think. May 26th.
Hopefully, if there's any new developments, the Game Guru will be
He'll be right
hot on
there.
the post for that one, you know?
He told
Ready
me
to
there
tell
was
us.
bubbles in the beer.
Was he the one who said that?
GTA 6. He said that.
Whoa.
He was
Anyways.
sitting right there, right in that corner.
He was
Bubbles
sitting
in the
right there in that corner. It's feeling a little empty today, but today wasn't empty on our season 3 premiere. We started off a little rocky with technical difficulties, but of course on
We
here
always do. We're a come from behind team.
we always end out strong. We'll be back this time next Thursday and every Thursday for the summer semester. This has been Vince Vibes signing off,
Dustin.
Anthony, hello.
and we'll see you all
Goodbye.
next week.